It's spring. That means it's burp season at my house. The window is open. You hear the dogs barking. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But people just come back to life, and I hate this season so much. I know. It's not a quirky trait or so. I am just a fall and winter girl. I just hate the sun and light and can't change that. And I know you enjoy the burp season at my house, so you kind of think it is somewhat calming to hear the burping here around and just screaming at each other. Yeah, I wanna fuck you. In case you don't know what birds are basically saying to each other, they mate around. This video, as you saw, is a Controversy Friday, and we actually covered this specific topic already, but back then, over a year ago, or about a year ago, people were also saying, hey, we need a second part of this. So I ask you, what are content creator behaviors that just drive you nuts, that just make you wanna peel all your skin off and burn it in a big fire? These type of behaviors. And I actually this time want to start myself with one, and just let me show you. Let it just be for a second. Let that sit. It's this one. I can't. Honestly, when a video starts of a person and they're doing the spirit fingers, I'm clocking out. I don't even care what you're talking about. No, thank you. I hate this movement. I do, though, have a conspiracy theory why people are doing this. I assume, just to believe in the best in those persons, that they do this to prove that they're not using a filter, because these motions here can disturb any smoothing, any, I don't know, like thinning filters or so that you can apply in these videos. So I want to assume, just for explaining it, that there is a reason that they do this to prove that there is no filter on their face. But doesn't matter, I still freaking hate this this movement, and I don't want to watch any video where this movement is included. Thank you very much. And before I head into your comments, I already scooched a bit to the side. I want to point out that this is no bashing against a certain creator. I think everybody is entitled to have their own opinion, and it is not bashing when you say, hey, this is a certain behavior that I do not like. Because let's be real, in real life, you wouldn't hang out with the person that is doing a certain behavior that you just do not like. And it is not bashing when you say, hey, I don't like to hang out with this person because they do this and that. That is completely fine. We are not bashing, but every now and then you need to vent a little bit. You need to you just need to let it out. And the makeup that I will be featuring here is mainly stuff that is old, you know what I mean? It's not like we're not focusing here on new stuff. I use mainly the stuff from my focus box, actually, and the eyeshadow palette that I want to feature is also an oldie but a goodie. It's the Flower Nose. This is the Eden Angel palette from the Little Angels collection, because after I filmed this video, I need to do some videos for my Made by Mitchell Cupid cases. I want to film the remaining 4 shades. I want to do some parts for my lip series today, so it will be featured, this makeup will be featured in a couple videos with different lip colors. Therefore, I need something more neutral that can go with these lip colors. It's just a beautiful palette, let's be real here. Was there anything else that I wanted to say? And if you want to participate in these videos or in any other community part videos, then make sure you are subscribed. And maybe also following me on Instagram. I mean, you should, because I post the photos of the looks always there. But I do share these questions here in the community tab on YouTube, but I also share them on Instagram with a question sticker in my Instagram stories. So I have answers from Instagram today, and I of course also have the longer answers here from YouTube, since you can write longer comments here. Instead, with Instagram, you only can type a certain amount of words in there. And if you want to support this channel even more, then you can of course join the membership here or on Patreon. You will not get any extra videos. This is just for support. There are different tiers. They don't do anything than just supporting this channel, but please always keep in mind, this is not a you have to or it is mandatory or so. It is just a way for support. And for content creators, this is just a way to gain a little bit more funding for their content, because all the membership money that I get from that will be reinvested here in this channel. So I would say let's start with the first one. Here we're starting with Instagram. 1, making only Sephora related videos when it's time for the Sephora sale. 2, announce they won't shop the sale and suddenly have multiple sale hauls. I feel you so much. Plus, the fact that these Sephora sales in the US, they aren't even good. They are not good. You have so much better saving opportunities when you are not waiting for a Sephora sale. Buy from other resellers, buy from the brand directly. They have many better sales going on. I know this might be a weird take, but I want to point out with Pat McGrath here at this occasion, because everybody was always waiting for the Pat McGrath sale on Sephora for the 20% off. But honestly, on the Pat McGrath website, although the frequency has lowered drastically, they have sometimes 40% off of everything, and you can sometimes even stack a code on top. So I was able with these Pat McGrath sales to gather motherships for 40% off, which is definitely, considering the price of a mothership, it's a great discount. I mean, it's nearly 50%. When did people lose the connection to the amount of discount that they can get? But that's a different topic. But I agree, especially these weird then videos of people showing these Sephora sales. You know, I don't watch beauty YouTube a lot anymore because there are just some things that bother me. But I see it in the feed. As soon as the Sephora thing is happening, I get bored already by looking at it. Having kids in their vids, literally why you edit them out. Unless they gave their consent that they want to be featured in the video, I am absolutely on your side. I hate it when kids are in videos. I mean, I don't want to see the content creators' kids at all. I am not interested in this type of content. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's cute. I think it's annoying, and it just draws away the attention from the actual content that I am watching. Creators who jump on the bandwagon to cancel someone for something, but if someone else they like does the same thing but it's not viral, they act like nothing. Oh, now I understand that sentence. It took a while because it is here in 2 comments. So basically what you are saying is that when a content creator is hopping on that more viral cancel train, but if a creator that is maybe smaller and doesn't have that big of a viewership is calling out a brand, that they don't react to this, although it might be something people know, just because it's not viral, so there's no like hype train or cancel train that they can hop on. Now I understand that. Yeah, I do agree on that. I'm also questioning sometimes when people lost the ability to have their opinions, and why does everything have to be connected to some viral shit? I can have my own opinion, and it doesn't have to be viral. It doesn't have to be in the like center of attention of something. It's just my opinion that I want to verbalize here on this channel. When a product that got in PR clearly doesn't perform, they try to hype it anyway. I never understood that because A, brands are not friends. Brand and PR and affiliations, this is business. And where is the problem that when I get a PR that I can say, hey, I do like this brand in general, but this product, it just does not work for me. It just does not perform. I will always be honest on that. I think the best example is actually the Fluorosis Serum Foundation. They sent me 3 shades in PR and I had a freaking hard time making this work for me, and I did not cover this up. I told in my review the story where the problems were, what problems I had, what did not perform, and how I feel now, and what I did to just go to the root of the problem, because it was something that never has happened to me with any foundation, no matter what brand. So I had to do a little bit of digging. What was the problem? And I was lucky enough to have that problem solved. But if it didn't work out, I will tell you, like, a brand, usually if the brand is very professional, they will not cut ties with anybody just because you give a critical review. If you, of course, tell in the video that this now is the worst brand ever to exist and people should come with forks and fire and just burn it down, they might cut you off. But a critical review, a reflected critical review with good feedback is very, very valuable to a brand and to the viewers. Being so excited about everything. I think I'm a little bit guilty in that too, but my excitement, just to explain it, maybe, or no, I assume that you here in this comment mean the excitement in a way that when they review stuff, that they are so excited about the product, that everything is good, everything is fine. I myself, I can only speak for myself, whenever I see a release, I get excited because makeup just in general excites me, but that has nothing to do with over-exaggerating or so. If that ever came across like that, good that we talk about this, because I'm just genuinely excited for makeup launches. Even if it's boring neutral eyeshadow palettes like this, makeup just makes me very, very, very happy. So this is a German comment, let me translate that. Communities who praise their creators as the one and only. Oh yeah. And God forbid that you, in a post that is not even from that creator, but maybe from someone else who is referring to that creator, God forbid you say something negative. They will fucking roast you. They will tear you apart. They will haunt you in your dreams because you said something negative about their favorite creators. I never understood this, and it's not only in the YouTube world, so don't get me wrong. This is also in the artists world and with musicians. God forbid, I'm sorry that I have to do this here as an example, but saying something negative about Taylor Swift, about in front of a Taylor Swift fan, they will unalive you. Of course, not all of them, but every community, every part where fans or followers happen, they will have their extreme fans and extreme followers, and they will always defend their artist, their content creator, whatever. But sometimes this can be also a little bit weird for the content creator or for the artist. When they think that they came up with a phrase / description used in beauty, Angelica and spicy neutrals. Does she think that she came up with that phrase? Really? Huh. But why? Why does she think this? I think spicy neutrals has been around since blogging times. Like, why? The normalization of overconsumption with beauty influencers. I have thoughts on this comment because let me explain that. First of all, I think the word overconsumption is one of these words that just gets used too many times in too many occasions so that it loses its real description. I have over 220 eyeshadow palettes. I have over 200, not eyeshadow brushes, brushes in general. People say this is overconsumption when I share insights of this collection, while I view it as its collection. It is collecting. This is my hobby. This is the only hobby that I put money in. I don't have any other hobbies that cost me so much money. This is the only one that I focus money on. Would people say the same about somebody who is collecting Lego? You know, the little bricks that you can put together, because there are sets made out of plastic bricks that are nearly €1,000. Is this overconsumption then when this is your hobby? I get though what you mean or what people mean with some content creators. There is, in my opinion, absolutely no need for anybody with a normal life outside of a beauty community that has so many makeup. Absolutely not. And with beauty community, I am not only talking about content creators. Someone who is watching this content and just has makeup as a hobby is also part of the beauty community. These are people who just love makeup, who have a passion for makeup, who are interested in the trends, in the development of stuff, in how things are shifting. They are up to date with releases. They are fully on point. And is it then overconsumption when they have a lot of makeup? No, it's their hobby. And what I want to say is that I do understand what you are coming from, and I do understand what you mean in specific settings. But for most people, this here is a hobby. And now let me just exaggerate this a little bit. I think it's very disrespectful to say about someone's hobby that this is overconsumption. For me personally, this is always a matter of how are you promoting something? How are you talking about something? I, of course, will also say things like, oh my God, this is one of the best eyeshadow palettes. This is one of the best foundations, blah, 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 blah. And then I will also say this about another foundation because I try this stuff. But does that now mean that a viewer of this, a part of the beauty community that is not creating content out of that they have to run out and buy everything? No. This is the responsibility of the person who is consuming the content. This is not the responsibility of a content creator. So we can discuss about this, but my view on this is that the overconsumption is created by those who buy it, by those who decide with their money that they do this, not by the content creator. The content creator who lives from this here, I don't. For me, this is still a job aside my main job. The content creator is there, they were made for this position. They were formed by the viewership to review this. And Part of that problem, if we want to call this now a problem, are the viewers then. I think this is a comment here, this is a topic in general where there is no right or wrong. There are different views, there are different perspectives, and I would never ever say that one of the perspectives here is wrong. It always depends where you're coming from. So just to close that here, I want to thank you for that comment, because this is for sure something that maybe everybody for themselves has to make their own thoughts on, and there is definitely no right or wrong side on this. So thank you very much for saying this. The way TikTokers hyper every release from Huda Beauty, and I'm sure it's undisclosed ads. I saw that too. And do you know what just drives me more insane than? It's these, okay, I love the brand Huda Beauty. Let me prove you how much I love the brand Huda Beauty, and this is not an ad because they never heard of me. I not only have the the cherry blossom cake easy bake or the sugar cookie easy bake. When I got me one of the blush filters, I went with the Ube one because I just wanted to know, can I wear this as a white pale person? Spoiler alert, you can, and I will show you today. But I fucking hate the reactions from Huda then. I hate these videos where she is reacting on, where she is layered in one of the corners on top of that video, or maybe she's moving around and she's sitting there being like, no, what is that? Yeah, this is TikTok content. This is a complete different world. And if you follow me, by the way, on TikTok, I do have a TikTok account, but I haven't posted there in months, I would say, because I just, my type of content that I do is not suitable for TikTok. My type of content works here on YouTube and it works on Instagram for some parts. But for TikTok, no way that this works. I'm just not doing the faces. I'm just not doing the lying. I'm not doing the Michaelas and Glamzellas on YouTube or on TikTok. It drives me so nuts, and I completely understand this comment. The weird attempt at ASMR stuff. I like ASMR, but there's a time and place for those tapping sounds. No, hard disagree. There is no time and no place for tapping sounds. Nobody wants tapping sounds. I hate it when brands do this. Honestly, I am not tired of commenting underneath brands' posts that they should stop this. And it's insane how many people agree with me, but it's also insane how many people then start to insult me for saying this. I hate the tapping sounds. I find them disgusting, and people who are saying, yeah, then just watch it without the sound, it doesn't work. There are images. There are certain videos and images and things that even without sound, you hear them in your brain. And these ASMR tapping shits, this is what I hear in my brain, and I can't even watch them without sound. I absolutely, with every single cell of my body, hate them. I just had this discussion with a friend talking about things that we hate in content creation. Close-ups of lips. Oh, I can't. There is this ColourPop advertisement, or like these ColourPop videos that every now and then pop up, where this girl is doing different lip combos on her boyfriend's lips. And first of all, I want to say that the lips that he has, everybody wants to achieve when they get lip fillers. That is probably the model that they show the doctor. I want to have these lips. But A, super close up. B, the tongue. They're doing this. Like the tongue is coming completely out and it's so close up. I'm disgusted. There is also a Tarte video that they have where they are showing these glittery clicky sticks. First of all, it's not only a close-up of the lips, it's also filmed from underneath. So I can look up the nose of that girl, and then she's looking into the sun and she is doing, do I have, just take this one, and she's doing this. It's too close, it's too intimate. I don't want to be that close to a person. Thank you very much. We're done with the Instagram comments, so let's move on now to YouTube. I think it's irresponsible when creators preach against overconsumption in one video, but then post a haul or an entire PR collection in the next. It seems that once creators stop having to buy makeup themselves, they lose touch with financial reality most viewers are living. No. Again, buying or not buying something is not in the responsibility of the creator. The creator is not coming at your house, pointing a gun at your face and says, buy that freaking collection. That's not what they're doing. The viewer decides, am I teased by that or not? It's not the responsibility of a content creator that a viewer maybe is sucked easily into that and then is buying stuff that they might don't need. That's not the responsibility of the creator. Otherwise, we would have to say that it's also the responsibility of a TV ad. Ads are made to make people buy this. And I personally think both is possible. I can tell you, and I do tell you in videos and in reviews that, for example, I like the new Gloss Gods palette. Is this now the reason for you to run out and buy it when you have palettes that maybe look similar? No, you decide that you do this, not me. I give you the review. Maybe you needed that review to make a decision. Maybe you just watched the review for funsies. I don't know. But it's not my responsibility at the end. And I can say, never feel pressure to buy something that I promote. And that is something that I actively say. And I can do it the same time as I buy this either myself or get it in PR. I think Charlotte Holcroft is struggling with this topic a lot of the times because she does also, like I do, these you don't need that. And will I buy it this? And she often says that, of course you don't need that 53rd hourglass palette, but I buy this because it is my job as a content creator to review this for you. And I think that is something that we we must remember at some point, that we can also live our shopping loves, our maybe limited accessibilities to these makeup products, either due to financial stuff, or maybe someone just doesn't want to have 18 eyeshadow palettes with the same color story. That's completely fine. You can live that through the content creator. That is what I do with certain releases too. For example, there was a release from Dior. For Christmas, they tend to now come out with these matte lipsticks that when you press the lips together, that they have glittery finishes. And I, at that time, when they came out, was financially unable to afford a 53 euro lipstick or lip cream, liquid lipstick, doesn't matter. I just was not able to get this. So what I did was I watched a ton of videos of people wearing these, of people swatching these. I lived through that. And now, half a year later, after they came out with this, I am sitting here and I can say that this is a release where I wouldn't be unhappy if I have it now, but honestly, it definitely would not have added so much to my collection that it would have been worth to buy it, although I was not able to buy it back then. And maybe this is something we need to remember every now and then. We can live through the content creators. We can see stuff through the eyes of our favorite content creators, of content creators that are in our skin tone, that are within our, like, our own bubble, maybe of tastes in makeup. That's fine. That is okay. For example, another one here. My friend Danielle from the channel Fedora Beauty, that by the way you definitely should check out. I live my luxury makeup urges through her. She buys the Dior Quins. She uses them. I would never, because it's just not my style of makeup, although I'm so tempted on getting one of these because her swatches and her looks look so good. But I just know for myself that I would use them twice for a review, and then they will collect dust here in my shelf. I live this through her content. I watch her looks, I watch her swatches, her stories, her videos, her reviews, because it's something that I just either can't afford right now or I don't want to afford right now. And I am thankful for Danielle that she is trying these so I can see this world of Dior makeup through her eyes. To come back to this comment, I think both is possible. The decision whether or not you consume stuff, you buy stuff, you spend money, is on the viewer's side, not on the side of the creator. The creator was put in that position over the years to have these collections and to show people the reviews. So here we have a longer comment, so let's tackle this. The usual gasp. Run, don't walk. Look at the coverage. Yeah. Hint, it's a full coverage product. Surprising, I know. The inability or rage baiting of not reading instructions, shitting on a product that doesn't magically transform into whatever the creator wants, the blatant stupidity to not understand that other people may prefer other formulas. I hate this, nobody needs this. The not listing a few shade matches in the description box or mentioning at least once so the viewer gets a reference when they review foundations. Hint, you won't get new subscribers if you only cater to your long timers who know your shade. Fully agree with that. I once got a weird comment that they were complaining in a foundation review that I did that I list too many different foundations in the video. I do this so that people know what reference I am. You know, and not everybody knows what I'm saying when I say I'm a MAC NC10. People be like, you fucking what? So I list shades of different foundations. From that comment, by the way, I plan to do this for so long, but I barely do foundation reviews. But maybe I can include this in every video. Let me know your thoughts down below. But I thought of putting just different foundation shades in the description box underneath every video. I just have to write it, and then it's a copy paste text. But I think that is definitely helpful. So thank you for reminding me of that. But when I do a foundation review, I always list them in the video itself. Even when I do shorts with foundations, I always list them in the videos or with concealers. In all the videos, I actually forgot that, and people ask in the comments, but I always answer them. So yeah. The partner paid ad shit. The inserting of their beliefs, religion, general human decency is absolutely fine, but I'm quite often thinking about them sitting in their symbol of faith when they spread hatred. I love you. Supporting disgusting brands / owners / creators while simultaneously virtue signaling. Yeah, that one religious belief that they tell you even if you don't ask worse than vegans. The inability to understand basic color story. No basic white, and that won't work for everyone. The ring light drag makeup labeling everything as neutral. When they put on gigantic lashes to show the eye look, sorry, can't see anything. The plumps my lips, so nice lip filler, and it's your lip filler. Something new, nah, still the same shit. I have many more, but my headaches are getting worse. Just out of the hospital after surgery. Excuse my sass, I'm grumpy and hurting. I wish you the best of getting better. I forgot the complete English sentence now, how you say this. Doesn't matter. Get well soon. Oh, that was the one. Get well very, very soon, but honestly, don't lose your sass. I love your sass. Saying shit like, I don't understand how I'm getting how all this PR. Okay, how I'm getting all this PR. Okay, well, maybe it's your contract or that you've included your business address in all your videos. Let me say something about this first passes here before I move on reading. This is actually one of the reasons why I stopped watching certain content creators. I learned in the past 2 years how this works here. And as soon as I understood that you not magically get packages, I was starting to question what are content creators here really saying? Because, oh my god, how did I get this PR? Well, Tiffany, you got this PR because A, you either wrote the brand your address, B, you have an agency or a management that does this for you, or C, you are in some kind of other management-free network where you get this. No brand magically has your address. No brand. There is a certain type of connection to the brand so that they get your address so that they can send you PR. Same, by the way, with any type of affiliate codes. No, you don't get magically an affiliate code. You either negotiate with the brand any type of rates or commissions, or they just tell you how their affiliate system works, and then you have to actively agree on their terms and conditions. So no, Hillary, your content is not magically put into the views of a brand and they magically send you shit because they can read your mind. No. You actively agree, or your management does that. Is this because summer, but I'm really digging lately? Peach blushes. I am going through such a change because I've been starting to wear green eyeshadow. Now I'm doing a peach blush. Who the fuck am I? Honestly, if I start to wear any other clothing color than black, please come and slap me with a dead fish. Please. So the second part of the comment, there is a creator who shall remain nameless. That's fine. That drives me crazy in so many ways that I just can't watch anymore. But this person has a habit of saying that they scrub the tan of their face. Ugh. Now, I'm not a dermatologist, but skin doesn't work like that. It's borderline offensive to say that you can change the color of your skin by scrubbing it. I don't think that's the intention, but it's so ridiculous. I just can't with them. I know it's nitpicking, but it's not the only thing that this that self-aggrandizing person does. Confidence is a turn on, arrogance is not. I understand that. Honestly, the imagination that this person has self-tanner on the face and is then scrubbing it off with a face scrub is hurting. I also don't think that this is any type of healthy. If you covered this before, please ignore. No, it's always fun to hear your opinions. Saying this like, it does not crease, it doesn't enhance texture when they are young, got help, nothing wrong with that, or have smooth skin at that moment at that age. Let me just add one more thing. There is no thing as such, no creasing. It does not exist. As soon as there are parts of your face moving, it will be creasing. There is no thing as a non-creasable eyeshadow. It will fucking crease. There is no thing as a no creasing concealer. it will crease because you have movement here. It can crease around the nose. It can crease around the smile lines depending on how they are visible on your face. But if that is a part that is moving, it will freaking crease. I understand you. It drives me nuts too. 2, not disclosing how they do swatches, because some build up the swatches to maximum opacity more than you would put on your eye, or not mentioning that they used a primer glitter glue. Knowing a glitter glue made the eyeshadow pop would make use the glitter glue. Would make me use the glitter glue and not be disappointed with the glueless application. I don't always use glitter glue. Obviously, not every shimmer needs it. Okay, I think I mentioned this in every single swatch, how I do these, how I made them or show something, but I am someone, my swatches are primer free, glitter glue free, but on my eye, I always use a glitter glue. I can't without. 3, lying. Yes. 4, using lights that are overly bright, warm, or cool. Fully agree. I am still questioning if my setup here is good, but when I'm in editing, I think it looks okay. No follow-ups or follow-ups with clickbait titles like I like to use Zoe. Ooh. Oh, I love you all. Oh, it's great. Not answering questions in the comments. Granted, the info wasn't mentioned in the video or descriptions. This is the one where I have a bit of a divided opinion on. I completely, with that comment here, I understand what you mean, but I just want to make you aware maybe of the fact that some content creators, not me, because I try to answer every comment or at least give it a like, they get thousands of comments and they just can't possibly answer all the questions, and I understand that they don't do this, to be honest. What I personally, if we stay with the comment topic here, find weird that some content creators, they actively even say that they will answer comments in the first 1 or 2 hours after a video, and then they don't look into the comments anymore. That is, I think, even more problematic and weird than not answering a question that maybe even was answered in a video before, but that person who was questioning this just hadn't watched it, because you never can expect people to watch every of your videos. But do you know what I mean? I think it is quite weird to actively say, hey, I only read and react to your comments in the first 2 hours, and then I don't fucking care for your comments. When they're always saying the opposite of what everyone says, at some point they start to feel dishonest that they like to create a wave and ride on their own. Yeah, I truly see that, because sometimes it's just very obvious that there is someone who's constantly saying something else. I'm not saying that everybody does this, because I feel like also among the content creators that are so criticized here, we also have the creators that truly have just a different opinion that is not in line with the viral opinion that everybody has, and that it seems like they are doing something on purpose on the other side of the reviews, but I see what you mean. By the way, congrats, you are live here with me when I emptied my MAC Studio Fix Pro Set and Blur from my focus box. So that means I will probably add now a new powder to the focus box, or just move on. I'm not sure, but honestly, it wasn't even enough to cover my whole face in powder. So what am I going to use? Also mentioned this on Insta, but here I have more room. Oh, okay. Mentioning the Sephora sale a million times. Oh, that girl, we started with her comments. And making a billion videos about it, and then stating, oh, but I won't be buying from the Sephora sale. The next day you have a Sephora sale haul. A blog how they shop the sale, and not once, multiple times. Please keep it real. And another one here with kids and makeup videos. Why is there a kid in a makeup video? You edit the freaking video, edit your kid out. At least the video footage. If it's regarding the makeup and coming from the off, whatever, questionable, and still don't understand why they kept it in. But having video footage of your kid still in, where's the parental urge to protect your kid? Yes. There's one creator whose kid come into the room half naked in almost every single video and has literally nothing to do with the video content. Why is this footage still included? Had to unsubscribe because that's not what I want to spend my time on. I think that with the half naked kid was covered in the last part too. And I think back then the content creator's name was mentioned. I completely forgot because I feel I would have opted out very, very fast on this. 1. Lying like mascara gate. Sometimes people change opinion and that's fine. Good even, but straight up lying is awful. Yes, that is something I barely understand. Why are you lying? Just say that you changed your fucking opinion. Where is the problem? Filters. These are makeup videos. I need to see how it actually looks. Yes. On a positive note, I do love when On a positive note, I love when content creators show their dog or cat. You didn't ask for this, but I had to share the opposite of a pet peeve. Pet. Yeah, I know, for example, that you all love to see my cats here in the videos. By the way, want to just put this in here. If you ever felt insecure about your skin, one of my cats has acne. She has a chin full of feline acne. Yes, that is a thing. And I just had to share this one day on Instagram because I felt like, people feel so insecure about their chin. Kin is the German word of chin. And then there is the cat, like one of the most beautiful creatures on the planet, and she has acne too. So it just is natural. So let me do my brows very quick off camera so that we can move on. By the way, I was asked if I changed my brow products now that I have dark hair, and yes, I changed from taupe and ash brown in the Anastasia Beverly Hills stuff to the granite color. And I am still using the brow wiz, so the pencil. And do you know what other product I brought back from the graveyard? I am back into using the brow pomade, and honestly, fucking love this. I really, really love the effect of the brow pomade. I do also have the granite brow powder, but I don't dig it as much as I actually currently like the way it looks with the brow pomade, and I'm always cleaning up now the brows underneath a bit with a concealer pan that shamelessly is the Lisa Eldridge Pinpoint Concealer, but I didn't buy this for the full price actually. I bought this on sale on nichebeauty.com because they actually sell a lot of the times the stuff for 20% off. And what I want to mention is that wasn't there writing on the friggin' stick? I just looked at the photos and there was a gold writing on the concealer and it has completely rubbed off. So that is what you get for the price. But the concealer itself, quick mini review, is fine. I don't use it anywhere on the face. I only use it to clean up brow and that's it. For that, it's fine, it's nice. I don't even know what shade I am. I think I decided to go for the shade 1, the lightest. But honestly, these concealer pencils you have from other brands. I just bought it because I was getting anyway something from Niche Beauty when they had a 20% sale. And I thought, okay, let's just throw it in too, and then my urge and my nosiness is done. Back to our comments. When they say they are on or want to do a low buy, but then proceed to purchase every single new release that it comes out anyways. I don't know why they even need to mention anything like that if they never actually plan to follow through. It's very annoying. I personally and specifically enjoy seeing YouTubers, beauty content creators who shop their stash or use products they already own. I don't care about every single new collection or product on the market. And these days, a lot of people feel the same way. I have a I have a lot of thoughts on this. Let's just roll up this comment with the last one. You think that a lot of people want to see that because this is your content bubble. This is the bubble that you are that you are active on, and of course you see a lot of people that are also interested in this. But let me tell you, shopping your stash when you're a content creator and just reusing older products is so bad in the views. And if you do content creation for a living or for somewhat of a job, you will not be successful with that. I'm sorry that I have to say it like that, but still, new is selling better. I try to do a good mix out of it because I don't do this for job reasons. I don't do this to make money out of it. For me, this is a nice way to make some extra money, but I told you already, I don't plan to give up working in a different field. I always want to do this aside from everything, but I completely lost my thought for a second. Videos where I am using old stuff that is not newly released, like even classic tutorial videos like the Cleona Chronicles or Terra Moon or whatever, they are, together with the Project Pan videos, like my Focus Box videos, and the empties, the worst performing on my channel. I get the best performance out of new product reviews and my You Don't Need That Stuff videos. I know where you are coming from. I'm sorry, I have to slap my loose contour a bit, but these are not performing well, and to say that this is something a lot of people want to see too is a very, very limited view on the viewership, sadly. And when it comes to that whole, they say they want to do a low buy but then buy the stuff, I think we need to discuss this a little bit. I did that too. But I also said that I horribly failed the no buy because for me, it was a learning process, and the learning that I found was that a low buy or a no buy, it just doesn't work for me. I get way too excited about new releases, and I don't think that this is always a bad thing when someone says that they want to do a no buy or a low buy, but they just get sucked into new releases. They're just human beings. I don't want to criticize that. Oh, and by the way, before you ask, yes, this is a loose contour. It's by the brand eCoNoMy. They are a super duper small UK indie brand. I am luckily actually affiliated with them. Very thankful for that. And their Witch Please loose contour is my favorite. It is so messy. It takes a little bit of working. I need a mixing plate here to make it work for me and not spill it everywhere. But it's the best contour shade in powder format that I own. Also, I forgot to add to my previous comment, it bothers me when some content creators say things like, I will not be purchasing this product from this brand because the shade range for this product is unacceptable, but turn around and praise another brand on a product that has this exact issue simply because they enjoy that particular brand anyways and are basically biased. I feel this is kind of hypocritical. This is not a bias. A psychological definition of being biased is a little bit different than that. But what this actually is, it's a preference thing. It's not a bias thing, it's a preference. They prefer a certain brand, and it's always like that. It's even the same in toxic relationships in your private life. You will look past that flaws. You will look past that certain things that people are telling you are very, very bad because you like that person better than others. I don't want to make a thing out of this, to be honest, because everybody can decide what they want to buy, and I don't have to have the same opinion on shade ranges, on releases, on whatever, it doesn't matter, as everybody else. So the decision at the end, if you want to buy something or not, is yours, and so it's decision of every content creator. If they say, hey, I can live with this in this brand because I overall like the brand, but I can't live in this brand because in general, this is just one more thing about the brand that I don't like. I fully understand what you're saying and where you're coming from. I absolutely respect your comment, but I just want to say that this is, in my personal opinion, neither hypocritical nor something to be criticized because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So are you, and so they are. By the way, these Fenty Cheeks Out blushes from the Cherry collection. Mwah. Never tried these shimmery blushes from them, but they are really pretty. I have both shades. I absolutely hate it when the thumbnail is the creator with a super surprised look on their face. I will not watch them. I do this sometimes too, I'm very sorry. But honestly, this is my option when I'm super uncreative with a thumbnail. Then I do this. I'm sorry. Being unable to pronounce multiple shade names as a quirky personality trait. It'll take a couple seconds to look up, and besides, isn't it interesting to learn a new word? Is intellectual curiosity not cool? They don't have to say the word perfectly, but showing you tried and are sharing the meaning you found when you looked it up is nice to see because maybe we'd like to know too. I feel partially called out because sometimes I have that too. I even had it in this video with one of the common words, and the thing is, I already forgot that word. If I'm not using this certain word regularly in my English speaking routines, I will not remember that word. I'm very, very sorry. But I do understand what you are saying. I personally try my very best to do so. For example, with the Nomad Cosmetics Mountain Fuji palette, I did that. I looked up these different words because A, I didn't know how to pronounce these Japanese words, and B, I wanted to know what they exactly mean. Are they aligning with the colors that we are seeing? And for me, it's fun. I do understand, especially that thing of as a personality trait, as being quirky. You're not quirky when you don't know how to pronounce a word. You are just a human being that just never had to use this word. It's fine. I try my best to look it up, but I admit, these videos are also for self-reflection. I admit that I sometimes don't do this because I just know that this is a word that I will 100% not use again when it's a very, very specific word. Sometimes there is a product which is objectively bad that somehow they're finding ways to make it work. Like there's enough products on the market so that you don't have to work ×2 to make something work. Just go for something better. Yeah, partially yes, partially no, because I think that sometimes it's maybe worth putting the effort in, and depending on the product, I sometimes even don't have a problem with putting the effort in. Why does my Bobbi Brown highlighter smell so weird? Did it always smell like that? Very, very odd. But I agree. If there is something where I have to completely change maybe my skincare routine to make it work. No, thank you. I'm clocking out from this product. I don't want to have it. Why is this highlighter smelling so bad? Oh, it's the packaging. It's not the highlighter. Oh, it's this plastic. Ugh. Also being out of touch with the price of beauty stuff, because many get everything in PR. It means nothing to them if each shade of that gloss costs 20 euros. I for sure see a clear difference between the ones that buy their own stuff and the ones that get everything in PR. They let her lie more. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And I always said that also to friends here, that if I ever start to behave like that, slap me in the fish with a dead face. No, slap me in the face with a dead fish. I don't want to be like that. I personally think it is very, very important to value the stuff also when you get it in PR, because it still can be very expensive. The amount of eyeshadow palettes that I got in PR, for example, from a healthy store, I am not only super grateful for that opportunity, I also always point that out that, hey, this certain product I got in PR, but keep in mind, this is a very, 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 very expensive one. So make some thoughts behind that if you really want to get this or not. That's why I'm doing this review. That's why I get these in PR, because I have a viewership that is watching these videos, and so you can make a very mindful purchase. For example, I recently got the question if I can make a review of the Xi Zhuang eyeshadow palette, because it is, I think, 70 or 80 euro for 10 shades of duo and multi-chromes. And I said, yes, it's noted. I planned the review already, and it will come so that you can make up your mind if this is something that you want to buy or not. It's completely fine. I want to ask a question here for this last part. What is your wish that the creators are doing? What should they do? Should they decline the PR? So maybe that they are not even in the position to review beauty stuff? Because I think we're very, very quick to say, oh, they review stuff different because they got it in PR. Not all of them. Please don't make them all the same. But what is your wish? What should these people do? I'm very, very curious to hear your view on this. So please share it with us. I love that. Blatantly lying about how a product performs, them saying they're always honest and then struggling on camera with patchy eyeshadow saying it's great, are telling me two different stories. Yeah, sometimes people forget that we can actually see what's happening. Just for you, I hate when content creators dye their hair black. Yeah, I hate that too. It's ugh. More seriously, I can't stand one when they say they will not work with a shitty brand again, but forget about it 2 weeks later. I did that too, but I learned my lessons. I will not buy from Glamlight ever again. They, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And they fooled me 3 times. So I'm done with them. What I have, I use, but I will not be purchasing ever again. I learned my fucking lesson. 2, when it's an obvious ad partnership and it's not disclosed, where is the fucking problem to freaking disclose an ad? I don't understand that. And 3, ASMR, music in the background, unnecessary noises, sensory issues. Hello, I'll feel you. 4, me personally, period. That one I don't understand. What do you mean? Because it's, me personally, I don't get that. Explain it, because I currently can't put this into any order. The next one is the way they absolutely with that silly pause in the middle. Also, when they're ranking products and have to apologize for every single one they gave a bad review to, have an opinion and own it, come on. Also, people who have a pet brand they love that they can't bring themselves to give it a bad review to. It's so evident and embarrassing when they're trying to defend something that's not good. Again, it is just something that I personally never ever understood why. For me, one of the brands where I will for sure buy nearly everything that they launch, even when it's just a trash bag, would be eCoNoMy Beauty. I love the brand to death, but I am old enough, I am fair enough, I am humanly enough to acknowledge, for example, that the lip lac in the shade Beetle is one of the worst lip lacs ever to exist. I still have it because I kind of have the hope that maybe at some point it will work for me. But where is the problem to just point out that you do not like a certain product? There is just no freaking problem with that. I don't get this. Talking about eCoNoMy, let me show you one of the products that I surprisingly fell in love with, the face glaze. Oh, I love the face glaze so fucking much. I didn't even plan to love this because it's so weird. It's basically a sticky gel that makes you look shiny and sweaty. But that is what I want. I want to look shiny and sweaty, but I don't want to sweat. I always apply the face glaze on top here of the powder highlight. underneath the brow bone, on the nose, and then a little bit here. I find it super unhelpful when creators aren't clear on skin type and tone undertone when reviewing makeup. It's very important to understand what I'm seeing as reference. Also, when their lighting editing completely changes tone and undertone of products. I'm not watching a review to know how the item does not look like. Thumbnails with brain dead, peekaboo expressions. How are people attracted to these? I don't trust the opinion of someone who's that perturbed or confused by makeup. I feel a little bit called out again because I do sometimes these faces too. I don't see a problem with that. But I never watched it in the way that you say. For me, this face expression of being like, huh? Is more so a let's discuss this. Let's discuss maybe something that is a little bit controversial. You know, I don't see this as confused by makeup, to be honest. But on the rest, I absolutely and fully agree. That is why I personally have a problem with certain channels reviewing makeup, because their photos, their videos are so edited. And I'm sorry that we have to bring this up again, but ELLAKINKLEY is the perfect example for that. I always get fooled by her product shots because she is just turning up the saturation, and she doesn't have to deny that. The swatches that she is doing are so far away from the truth sometimes that it's lying. And then there are other content creators on Instagram who make only these visually pleasing, beautiful shots of makeup, but that is not what the product looks in real life. For example, I myself got me a filter for one of my lenses. I got me a softener from Hoya, and I love the way this looks. Everything looks so soft, especially multi-chromes and pigments. They look ethereal, but that's not how they look in real life. So I use this filter only for product shots or for makeup shots that I want to make more aesthetically pleasing. For reviews, I still use my regular sharp shots without any physical filters screwed on top. So in case you don't know what filter I mean, these Hoya filters, let me show you them. They look like that. They are physically filters that you screw on top of a lens. So I'm not talking digital filtering or so. I love the effect that this gives. I think it's very pretty, but it's completely useless when you do a review. For review purposes, it just doesn't make sense, so I won't use this. Or how I did it with the Gloss Gods one, I added the photos at the very end of the whole photo bomb that I did. And I always added in the description of a photo that a couple of these photos, or which photo exactly, is shot with the Hoya softener on top. Because the effect is just completely different. Oh, by the way, did you just spot that I was using a drugstore product? I used one of the L'Oreal Panorama mascaras. I had to giggle a bit when I read about Lashgate, because the telescopic one is also in my backup drawer right now. Only talking about if they like the color story and not mentioning anything about the formula, especially in palette rankings. Are the mattes thin or thick? Are they easy to build up? Do they blend nicely, or do they need a little bit of elbow crease? Do they look different in the pan than on the eye? Are the shimmers dry, crumbly, squishy? Should I apply them with a finger or with a brush? I don't want to know if you like the color story. I can see it and decide for myself. I just want to know how the shadows perform. Again, I have a little bit of a divided opinion on that, because I think what you are asking for is, for me personally, is content that belongs to the review. In the ranking, I'm not covering everything that I already rambled and wrote novels about in the review itself. For that, please go watch the review. I do agree though that I want to have some basic notes included, and I try my very best. I know myself that I'm failing this sometimes. That's completely fine. I'm just a human, and I do content without a script. So I know that some people do write down what they want to say. I don't. I just start talking. Maybe that's the fault here. At least I try to explain a lot why I ranked something like that, because my rankings are quantified. I quantify everything. I'm the good German here. I kind of fit the stereotype of the exact German. I don't like it when I hear a semi-large or large creator who is making money from this say that they are going to return something. They bought it to review, so in a sense it's an investment in their business, and in the US, tax deductible one at that. If they don't like it, pass it on or donate if they can. Don't abuse the return policy and ruin it for normal customers. I'm a tiny unmonetized creator and I seldom return anything unless it was damaged in shipping or something like that. I have heard that with American content creators a lot of the times already, and I'm honest with you, I myself, I never ever had the idea to order something, review it, and then send it back. I mean, it would work technically, but I never had the idea to, because I buy something to use it. If I then don't like it, that can happen, and then I send it back. But I never ever before bought something with the intention of only doing one review and then sending it back. Like, where is what? It really rubbed me the wrong way this year how many Bhutan content creators had videos called buying my entire Sephora wishlist. I know people say this as a joke, but really in this economy. Same here. I say it now with all the love, but that's a you problem. That is 100% a you problem. Nobody, I said it already a couple times, is forcing you to buy that. And why are you triggered by that? Why do you care so much? If they did, okay, it's their money. Why do you want to do this? Why? Because I personally, I couldn't care less on what people spend their money on, because it's not my money that they spend. It's not that they stole my cart info and then took that cart info and went shopping with that. No, it's their money. No matter how they earned it, either through partnerships, through AdSense here on YouTube, or through whatever they did. When you feel triggered by titles like that, that's not the fault of the content creators. It's a title that draws attention to the creator so that they get more views. It's a business decision to name it like that. And the last one is saying statements like questions with an upswing in their voice that at the end of words, like they've been hanging out with Kylie Jenner for days and picked up her vocal habits. Okay. Honestly, I have no clue how Kylie Jenner is talking. Okay. I asked in the comments recently, why is so and so suddenly making statements sound like questions, and they were very, very offended, blaming it on their accent like I'm the asshole. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Is it hard to tell a statement from a questioning in your language? Give me a break. I think we need to put down some of these beauty content creators for a minute. Once I heard one doing it, the more I caught that day and the days since upswinging words for no reason. Do they think it makes them sound more friendly or interesting? It's so confusing. I don't even know what you mean. What do you mean? I try to replicate that now from your description, but I also don't want to consume Kylie Jenner to now see what you mean, but I have no clue. Hopefully I don't do that. I also agree with another commenter on creators acting like they have no idea how they are receiving PR, new or otherwise, from brands, that's a mystery, and the brand sent out a private investigator to get their address. Then the next out loud question is, am I a fragrance channel now? The last thing is to always kiss other creators' rear ends and support them, ride or die, apparently. I really have been feeling some kind of way lately, and I'm going to have to figure out in a way to limit who I watch from now on, like a beauty budget and a YouTube monthly hour limits as well. If that is at the end your way of making you feel more comfortable, I am fully with you. Do what makes you freaking happy, and that is the only thing that counts. We had some very, very interesting comments here, some very, very interesting point of views. I just want to say, for those where I maybe disagreed, if you still are here, take it all, please, with one thought in your head. Everybody's view is fine. Everybody's truth of reality is real. I am a defender of a certain theory in psychology, and that is constructivism. That basically says that everybody constructs their own version of reality depending on what influences they had, either in the family background, the social environment, the way that they consume stuff, what they are doing for a job, blah, 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 blah. All that counts in on how you see your little part of reality. And I personally think that we need to understand that just because you or I have a certain view on a topic does not mean that I'm right or wrong. It just means that this is the view, that all the things that I learned so far in my life, all the things that influenced me and my opinion, they all led to this one moment and to this one opinion. And then it is always a question of, am I in the position to open myself to new opinions? Can I accept new opinions? Do I want to accept new opinions? Or do I think I have to stick in my bubble? Both is fine, always depends. I here on this channel always encourage you to open your world, to let new point of views influence you, and to just give them the chance to just develop around you, so that you can maybe develop new opinions, learn new things. I think that is important. So please, don't be mad at me for disagreeing with your opinions. I just showed you my perspective on this topic. You know, we're just looking at maybe a picture, but you look from the front, I look from the back, so we see two different things, and doesn't mean that one of these things is wrong. So thank you so much for joining here. Make sure to subscribe, hopefully, so you don't miss out any of the other upcoming videos, and I see you soon.